you should do is put your name at the top. That's super helpful. We're starting it today, 12/12/22. That's kind of a nice little date, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. All right. This is 4th hour, unless you're watching it in 5th hour, and then you're going to write 5th hour here for your class. First, we're going to recall our order of operations. Please. I'm going to put a P right there. Excuse. I'm going to put an E right there. My dear. I'm writing M/D right here. Aunt Sally. A/S. Now, this P stands for parentheses, but it may mean any grouping symbol. Sometimes things are grouped with a parentheses. Sometimes we show multiplication with a parentheses, right? Sometimes things are grouped with a vinculum, like a fraction bar. So you can see the top on number 4 is grouped separately than the bottom. So we would have to do what's on the top, do what's on the bottom, and then what does that fraction bar mean? Divided by. So we would take the top divided by the bottom. Okay? We won't get too far ahead of ourselves yet, but I do want you to know that that is one of our grouping symbols. Other things you might see are like square root bars, which we're not dealing with yet, or brackets, things like that. Yes, eventually. A little pre-algebra anyway. All right, E stands for exponents. This is why we reviewed exponents. Remember, that is repetitive multiplication. So I would say 2 to the 4th power is equal to a factor of 2 4 times. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. Do not be tempted to say that that is 8. It's not 2 times 4, right? Am I going too fast? You need me to slow down a little? No. We're doing okay? M and D. What do those stand for? Multiplication and division, but be careful. This is multiplication and division from left to right. If I have division first on the left, I would do the division first. Sometimes I show left to right by drawing an arrow that starts on the left and goes to the right. So M and D stand for multiplication and division from left to right. Yes. And just like multiplication, this is addition and subtraction from left to right. So if I have subtraction to the left of addition, I would do that first. And I'm going to use a similar arrow for those. So that's my shorthand for please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. Remembering that each of these are kind of its own step you have to go through before you move on to the next. Okay? There's ever a time for you to be neat and orderly, it is now, right? Math needs to be done very neatly so we can see our steps. All right, are you ready? if we're simplifying our expression here, this is still the first page. We haven't gone anywhere. I notice we have an addition sign and a division sign. Looking at our order of operations, which would we do first? Division. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. I like to draw an arrow down because it shows me what I've gone through, right? I want to be sure I don't leave anything off and do anything. If you need to move, then do so you're not distracting yourself or each other. I'm going to bring down what, though? The 18, and that was a positive 3, right? Now, what's 18 plus 3? 21. So I like to just keep going down and write it down here. If you wanted to write equals 21, that is great too. Whatever is, yeah, that works too. Whatever is easiest. All right. So that was easy. That one wasn't like mind-blowing or anything, right? We can all do that, hopefully. We just cannot, we could not say 18 plus 12 and then divide by 4. Right? We had to do the division first. We would get 2 different answers if we weren't following our order of operations there. Now, number 2, do I have anything in parentheses? Yes. Inside my parentheses, I have a plus sign and what else? An exponent. So between adding and my exponents, which of those needs to be done first? The exponents. Now, is this 4 times 2? No. It is 4 times 4, which is what? 16. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as 2 plus 16. Then I have to bring the rest of my problem down. I'm showing all my work neatly, so I'd be sure not to screw anything up. Now I have to do what's inside my parentheses. Hannah, it's not okay. And you know it. So what is 2 plus 16? 18. I would bring down my subtraction sign or my negative sign. You can call it either. And I have 25 minus 18. That's it. It is 7. 7 and 8 is 15. Careful. All right, so far so good. Are we going too fast, too slow? All right, medium, good. Now I have something on the top and something on the bottom. Let's look at that something on the top. I've got parentheses, so I'm doing what's in my parentheses first. What's 7 minus 5? 2. I'm going to put that 2 in parentheses, and it's being raised to what? 3. The third power. This is like 2 times what? What's 2 to the third power? 2 times 2 times 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. I heard someone say 6. It is not 2 times 3, right? This is our factor. This is how many times we have that factor. So we would write the factor of 2 3 times and multiply them. What's 2 times 8? 16. But what haven't we done yet? The bottom of our fraction bar. So what is 16 divided by 2? 8. That was a lot of multiplying and dividing by 2, right? All right, 9 squared. Is this 9 times 2? No, this is a factor of 9 2 times. What's 9 times 9? 81. And then I'm just going to copy down the rest of my top. What do I do first? Do I? I have to go from left to right when I get to this step 4. And since my subtraction is first, like I would be reading a book from left to right, I'm going to do that first. So what's 81 minus 11? 70, right? Plus 20 is what? 90. I've got 90 on the top. What's 4 plus 5? 5. So I have 90 divided by 5. Well, 5 times what is 90? What is half of 35? 8 or 40. So 8 times 5 would be 40. 18 would be 90. Is that right? No. 18 times 5. Yes. So if I multiplied that by 2, essentially, divide by 10. All right. Did that trick you because we had a top and then we had a bottom? So we then took the top divided by the bottom, which was the top and the bottom. And that fraction bar means divided by. All right, so now, guys, we have to remember our integer rules. We have addition and subtraction. So we're working from left to right. Here, our signs are the same. It's getting more negative. What's negative 4 minus 15? 11. No, it's getting more negative. 20. No, it's getting more negative. 19. When our signs are the same, we find the sum. You could think of this as negative 4 plus negative 15, if that makes it easier. And then I would bring down my plus 18. What's negative 19 plus 18? Negative 1. Good. All right. What do we do first for number 6? We have to do what's in these parentheses. What's 5 minus 13? This is like 5 plus a negative 13. 8, but it is negative. I'm going to put it in parentheses because that parentheses is also going to show multiplication here, right? We remember that parentheses is a sign of multiplication. So what's 4 times negative 8? Or what's 4 times 8? 4 times 8 is 32. And my signs are different, so it's negative. Remember that parenthesis stands for multiplication. When we have a number touching the parenthesis, we're multiplying those things. So I'm subtracting a negative 3, but we know we have to keep, switch, switch. So now our signs are different and we would find the difference. Good. 32 minus 3 would be 29, but is it positive or negative? Negative, because our bigger number is negative. Do you see how we're adding another layer to our order of operations now that we know how to work with integers? So now number 7, we have addition and multiplication. Which do I do first? Multiplication. Some of you say that, and then when we get to it, you're not going to do it. What's 7 times negative 8? 42. No. 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 times 8 is 56, but in this case, it's going to be negative. I'm going to bring down my plus, and then I have negative 18. When my signs are the same, it's getting more negative. So I'm actually going to add these to make it more negative. 8 and 6 is 14. Carry the 1. 5, 6, 7. So negative 74. All All right, don't freak out too much. What is my factor in this exponent? Well, if you want to, we could do our parenthesis first. That'd be helpful, right? What's -3 plus a -1? It's -4. My signs are the same, so I'm finding the sum. Come on, guys. Divided by -6 squared. So with this exponent says that I have a factor of what 2 times? 6. So I have -6 times -6, and I'm still dividing that by -4. What's -6 times -6? My signs are the same, so it's positive. 36 divided by -4. 4 times what is 36? 4 times, some of you need your multiplication tables out apparently. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 9 is 36. And is it positive or negative? Negative, because my signs were different. All right, here we just have division and multiplication. Which do we do first? No! Not the multiplication. Yes. Remember, step 3 is all one thing, so we have to do it from left to right. What's to the left? What comes first as we're reading it? Division. So let's do that. It's going to be positive. Good. 72 divided by 3. I only know this because I know 72 hours is 3 days. So how many hours in a day? 24. 24 times -4. So 72 plus another 24 hours would be 96 hours. And that's negative.
I'm so confused.
What are you confused about? What are we confused about? Multiplying? Guys, if you need to change and multiply this way, do so. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. My signs are different, so my answer is negative. This is why it's so important that you had your integer rules down, right? We should have those down.
It's just because the word didn't get shown for
The multiplication.
divided by 3.
All right, what do I do first for number 10? I don't have any parentheses, but I do have exponents. So I have a factor of 2 how many times? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all being multiplied, right? So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 here. So 16 times 2, 32. So I'm going to rewrite this now. Writing my negative sign there. Don't forget to bring that down. We have 32 plus 8. Now what's first, addition or subtraction? Subtraction, because it's on the left. Very good. We have to do addition and subtraction from left to right. So here, when I have negative and a negative, I would say my signs are the same. If it's easier for you to rewrite this as -14 plus a -32 to see that your signs are the same, you can. But when my signs are the same, I find the sum. 4 and 2 is 6. 3 and 1 is 4. And it is negative. My signs are the same. I'm finding the sum. It's getting more negative. If we start with the negative and go to the left, we're getting more negative. And then I would add 8 to that. Now when my signs are different, I find the difference. So I'm going to say 46 minus 8. So I may have to borrow, right? 16 minus 8. You have to borrow. You can't say 8 minus 6 is 2. We're saying 6 minus 8. So 38. And it's positive or negative? Negative, because our bigger absolute value was negative. I'm going to circle that one because there's a lot going on for you to find my answer there. All right. We're going to go through this next page together. And then we've got some work to do. All right, looking at the top first. Remember, we have to keep, switch, switch. What's negative 18 plus 2? Close. Negative 16. That's on the top. What's 7? Oops, sorry. What's 7 plus negative 23? No, our signs are different, so we have to find the difference. Positive or negative? Negative. What's negative 16 divided by itself? 1. That's what that fraction bar means, right? Yes. Yes, Mrs. Lum. All right. Inside my parentheses, I have a subtraction and exponent. What does that exponent mean?
You have to multiply twice.
Yes, I have a factor of 3 2 times. Oops. I said 2 times and wrote 2. I have a factor of 3 2 times. What's 3 times 3? 9. So I'm going to rewrite it, bringing down everything, right? Guys, too much chatter right now. Negative 9. I'm sorry, negative 11 minus 9. It's getting more negative. Negative 20 divided by 5. Negative 4. That wasn't so bad. What is 4 squared? 16. And there's a net. We have to take the opposite of that. Divided by 2 times, what's 1 minus 7? Is it though? Negative 6. So even though I did my exponent first, you see that we kind of could do these at the same time because they weren't really connected to each other yet. So I could have done negative 6 and then wrote this all out and then wrote that. Does that make sense? No? Okay. Now, what do I do first? Division or multiplication? Division, because it's from left to right, that step, right? What's negative 16 divided by 2? Good. 2 times 8 is 16, but it is negative. And then I'm bringing down the rest of my... So what's 8 times 6? So 8 times 6 would be 48. My signs are the same, so it would stay positive. All right. I need to do what's inside my parentheses. So what's 3 minus 10? Negative 7. I'm going to bring down the rest here. Negative 28. Bring down my minus. Bring down my negative 2. Now what do I need to do? I'm subtracting or dividing first. Division. What's 28 divided by 7? 4. Positive or negative? Positive, because they're the same. But then I'm going to bring down that minus sign there. and then my -2. So -2 minus 4. Think about your number line. It's getting more negative. If I start at -2 and I subtract 4, -6. All right. What am I going to do first here for number 15? The parentheses. What's 2 minus 5? -3. Be careful because that is in parentheses. Raised to the third power minus 8 times 6. So what factor do I have 3 times? I have -3, right? -3 times -3 times -3. This is 9 times -3, which is what? -27. So I have -27 minus 8 times 6. What do I do next? Am I going to subtract or multiply? Multiply. What is 8 times 6? Guys, come on, we just did this. 8 times 6 is 48. Bring down that negative sign, -27. You can put a plus in between them if it helps you to see that you have the sum of 2 negatives. So it's getting more negative. 48 and 27. 1575, but positive or negative? Positive. Negative. We're adding. We're not multiplying. Oh, yes. All right. We have parentheses, but there's actually no operation in them, right? So we can skip right to the exponent. We have a factor of -5. 2 times. Good. -5 times -5 is 25. So I'm going to rewrite 16 minus 25 plus 1. And that is all over -3 minus 1. Right? So now we're going left to right. What's 16 minus 25? My signs would be different here, so I'm really finding the difference, but I have to do big minus little. 9, -9. So -9 plus 1. What's -3 minus 1? It's getting more negative. -4. So what on the top we still need to simplify? What's -9 plus 1? Tanner, do you need to move?
They keep talking. They keep saying my name. I'm like, what?
Stop.
Like they won't stop talking to me, talking about them. It's irritating.
Do you want to come and sit in your actual seat? Would that be helpful? What's -9 plus 1? -9 plus 1. No, guys, our signs are different. So we have -8 on the top and what on the bottom? -4. Our signs are the same, so it's going to be positive. What's 8 divided by 4? 2. All right, we're almost there, and then you're going to be ready to try it on your own, right? We're just adding in integers. I promise you're going to live. All right, exponents first. So we have, good, 7 times 7. So -5 minus 49 is what? -54? On the top, on the bottom, we have to switch, right? What's 14 plus 2? 16 plus another 2. So I have 54 on top and 18 on the bottom. What I would do is think, well, what times 8 would give me something with a 4 in the ones place? 8, 16, 24. So right away, 3 times. So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3 plus the 2. We would, yes. So this would equal 3. It's also in your multiplication table if you can't think through that division. So you can definitely use your multiplication table if needed. But what didn't I include when I wrote down this 54 here? The negative sign. So when my signs are different, it would be -3. Fair? All right. Do you guys love division? No, I know you don't. It's okay. You're going to live. Inside here, I have a 1, but I also am subtracting the square of 5 from that. What's 5 squared? What's 5 to the power of 2? Good. This is really a factor of 5 twice. So I'm going to rewrite, guys. This is a lot of rewriting, but it helps us to be sure that we do not miss anything. I'm just writing these things down. Do you need me to give me your phone? All right. In parentheses, what's 1 minus 25? -24. So I'm bringing everything down again. Some of these require us to recopy a lot. Now, I have subtraction, addition, and multiplication. What am I going to do first? Multiplication. So what's 9 times -2? -18. You can bring down this plus still if it's helpful. Bring down the rest of this. I probably should have done my exponent the next step, but it wasn't connected, so we can still do it now. What is 2 4 times? I'm trying to figure out where I should write this. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. We've done this a couple times, right? This is 4, this is 4, so 4 times 4 is 16. That's what I'm bringing down right here. All right, so we keep switch. Here, our signs are different. What's 24 minus 16? We should know those are both a factor of 8, or multiple of 8, rather. And my bigger numbers was positive. Now I have 8 minus or plus a -18, which is what? Well, think big minus little because our signs are different. 8 minus 8, 1 minus nothing. 10, but my bigger number in this case is negative. A lot of work to get just a little number, right? All right, woo! That's a lot. All right. Inside these parentheses, we need to multiply first. Bring down the rest. Can I go ahead and do this real quick too in this step? So 2 times 2, this would be positive 4 times a -2 would actually be a -8. There's a negative in front of that and a 20. We still need to finish off this parenthesis. So 6 minus 10 is negative 4. This is negative 8 minus. So we're really going to here multiply first. 8 times 4 is 32. And it's going to stay positive because our signs were the same. But then I'm bringing down this negative and this 20 here. That was a lot too. 20 minus 32. This is the same as 20 plus negative 32. So 32 minus 20 is 12. But is it going to be positive or negative? Negative. All right, now we've got stuff on the top, stuff on the bottom. We would multiply first. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Oh, but and I'm saying 5 minus that. All over 1 minus, what's negative 3 times negative 3? We're multiplying. So negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. 5 minus 15 is negative 10. And 1 minus 9 is negative 8. Did I do something wrong?
Yeah,
5 minus
you said negative 15 and then you're 5. Not.
Why is it a positive 10?
15 was negative.
Oh, I see. So this is 20? And this is a negative 1 minus 9, so this is negative 10. So our answer is then going to be negative 2.
I'm so confused right now. Like, this is
20 divided by negative 10.
Is it just 5 plus 15?
Yes. Because we subtracted a negative, so it should have been 5 minus a negative 15. So we switched. Here I forgot to write that negative in front of the 1. So be sure that gets there, which would make it negative 10. So you're going to have nice answers, right? All right. Listen very carefully. This next page about Cinderella. This page is extra practice and extra credit. You do not need to do it right now. So turn one more to the homework. It says homework, you're doing it in class, right? So you got about 10 minutes. Try and get a good chunk of these going. Remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The more you write it, the more you say it, the more you practice it, the more you'll remember it, right? Don't forget your integer rules. You don't need to ever take anything home, but you may choose to. Tomorrow we're going to go over more practice and do it again. Wednesday we're going to review. Thursday we're going to take a quiz. It's a short one. I think. I hope. No, we're not leaving. You have 10 minutes to work.